I've never been the type of person that believes in the supernatural or reincarnation. When people refer to things in life as signs, I've typically viewed them as coincidences. Why give myself false hope by making a situation seem bigger than it is? My perspective of this all changed in 2021. To give you some background, my grandpa was a great man who passed away July 7th of 2021. He was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, attended the University of Notre Dame, and lived every day with a smile and positive attitude. He taught me many life lessons that I try to implement into my daily life. Now, let's go back to 2021 and hear from my mom how this all began.
The month of July 2021 was probably one of the darkest times I have ever had. I think our whole entire family's had. On July 7th, unfortunately, my father, your grandfather, suddenly passed away. And 5 days later, on July 12th, my brother-in-law, your uncle, died of a heart attack at the young age of 52. So it was another big shock and surprise. And then 2 weeks after that, we lost our dog. It was a rough July of 2021, to say the least.
What did you think our family needed after this period of mourning?
I feel like we just needed some light and energy and love in the house. Over Christmas of 2021, it just felt like the house needed some new energy to it. So your dad and I thought, all right, let's get a puppy. So I went to a website called puppyspot.com and I typed in golden retriever because that's what we've always had. And I saw this really cute puppy that was apparently from an award-winning bloodline of Goldens. And I showed your dad and said, what do you think? And he said, let's do it. And I pressed purchase. Well, I asked, where the puppy was from because they're from any state around the United States. And they said, oh, the puppy's from Indiana, which all of a sudden just hit home to me because my dad was born and raised in Indiana and he is now buried in Indiana. So I thought that was a sign from Papa. And I ran and told you guys, I think that this dog might be a sign from Papa. Maybe it's Papa. Well, I called back because we were supposed to get the puppy at 8 weeks old on January 16th. And they called and said that there's a delay. And I said, well, where is this puppy coming from in Indiana? And they said, it's coming from South Bend, Indiana. And then I literally froze because South Bend, Indiana is where Papa was born and raised and is buried. So right then and there, I totally thought it was Papa. And if you don't believe in signs, then I don't know what else to say, because that was a very clear sign.
And what did you want to name the puppy for a while?
Well, when I thought it was Papa, I said, we should name him JPM or John Paul. As you know, my dad's name was John Paul. And so I said, we could call him John Paul or Papa or JPM. And you guys all looked at me like I was crazy. And I was joking, kind of, and maybe a little bit not joking. But I obviously got quickly ruled out. Well, at this point, we had decided on the name was going to be Rudy because it had to be something that was attached to South Bend, Indiana. So we were so excited for Rudy, and they said, yep, sorry, it's late. And there's only one date that this dog can arrive. And the only date it can arrive is January 26th. And that's when I basically almost dropped the phone because that is Papa's birthday.
Rudy is now 3 years old and thriving. Although I don't like to believe that he is my reincarnated grandfather, I believe that he's a gift sent to us by my grandpa, a reminder of his everyday kindness and positive attitude. I also like to think of him as a guardian angel. Like my grandpa is still with us in spirit, like he sent this dog to watch over my family and keep us company.